hard, isn't it?
Woo! You're trying to do a back bend as well at the end.
I know.
All I can do is that whole thing. I'm going to do 180 over it.
Wow. Yeah. I went very far.
Oh, that is so hard.
Wow, I'm going very far.
That's good.
That's a good ride off camera as well.
Well done, kid.
You know I can actually do a backflip and then it helps me.
That's cool.
Let's do some long ones, shall we? Oh, not quite. Try to do a bit of a split until it's too long. Yeah, or run up, yeah. Ooh, alright. Alright, good effort though. Well done, that's great.
That was funny. I'm really going to take a shower after this. It's so muddy. You do I am.
For some reason, I'm really feeling this on my glutes.
Wow.
Well, that's good. Bet you're happy about that.
Why keep doing all that?
Oh, not quite 180.
That is huge. It might knock over and smack your head off.
So I want to be able to do it both ways. Like
No,
I
it's really heavy,
yeah, I do it
Cara.
one way, but I want to be able to do it the other way as well. Feels really weird doing it off. Not on the wet grass cover. Keep it on the concrete because that'll get up the muddy wheels. We're sinking in the pond now.
Sinking in the pond.
Go, Mum. You got this.
Well done, Georgie. The brakes on that thing.
No, that's such a good idea. It's even got brakes.
I mean, you probably want the brakes on when it's actually near the wall, don't you?
Oh, oh the rope is such a good workout. I can't believe we hadn't thought of using that before. I just looked at it and thought that's got a big
Yeah.
weight in it.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Really good. I didn't actually know why the brakes weren't on. Okay, the brakes do absolutely nothing.
It's like a long snake.
Jumping. Oh, you're moving it.
Well done.
Oh, have a go. Oh. Well done, Cara. Oh, scary.
much better.
Just did our family afternoon workout. We don't normally really do workouts in the afternoon, but Darren, you just got the plyo box down. And then I wanted to do trampolining, so we just took it all outside and then we all just started like randomly working out together. Yeah, I like that.
Spontaneous life is the best life. I love it.
Yeah,
so
because
good.
this morning we didn't really
Like have a bit of structure, but then leave time to just be spontaneous.
Play.
Yeah, exactly.
It's really important to play.
Yeah.
Yes, this morning we had to wake up first thing, and normally I do my trampolining in the morning. I prefer working out first thing because then you can just have a shower and for the rest of the day you get on with it. Also, I don't like jumping and things with food in my stomach, so I like doing it on an empty stomach. But we couldn't do it this morning because we had to go and collect our water. So we left early because we wanted to collect it before it really started heavily raining, but we got caught in the rain anyway. But I wanted to show you something, Fizz fam. I have done the sideboard. I've changed it around a little
It
bit.
looks really nice, Mum. It looks super nice.
Well, we have these reed things here, but we got one of those biohouse, what they called house biology, geobiology reports done, where someone comes around and they assess all your house and see how healthy your home is, and they also incorporate feng shui, which is like a Chinese principle of like the energy.
Which that cupboard with all that stuff chucked in there would probably not be good feng shui, would it?
I feel like pretty. I try and keep this quite organised. Excuse me, Koa, could you just move out of the way for 1 second?
I love that as soon as we start filming, they run in. You want to be involved.
They
don't
all
you?
like want to get in front of the cupboard. But
They
yeah,
just
so
wanna learn
so
what you're
feng
doing
shui is
when
about
you're filming.
creating a harmonious home, and it like incorporates all like the energy of your home, which I really like. I've also got Chinese heritage, so anything to do with Chinese medicine, feng shui, I just feel super drawn to. So this, unfortunately, I really love these. These are some natural cotton sticks. Beautiful.
Cotton candy.
But it is dead, it's not living anymore, and it has stagnant energy, so I might give this to a charity
What's
shop.
stagnant?
Stagnant. It provides stagnant energy, which isn't good. And I don't know what zone. Stagnant energy means like energy which is sort of
Stuck.
lifeless, stuck.
Oh.
And we want living things. It's actually better to have faux ones in your home. So those ones
that's
are fake.
interesting. Oh, are
Why
they?
are they
Yeah.
dead?
Oh, I
So
didn't know.
living plants are fine, fresh flowers are fine, but when they start wilting, I've always known this one, but when they start wilting, then you should get rid of them because it's like negative energy. So these I'm going to give away, but
That's really interesting. It's hard for me to get my head around that. So basically, something fake would be better than something
like this, which is
like
like preserved, like reeds and
preserved.
sticks,
So
yeah.
because this is dead, but the fake thing was never alive to
It
begin
has
with.
no energy to it. It's
Right,
like
yeah.
zero, isn't it?
Yeah.
So another thing that I've learned, he didn't say this on a report, but I've learned this since, is like, well, basically on the report, I need to go through it with either you, Darren, or him. No arguing, stop it. But you have different zones in your home. You've got the wealth zone, the family zone, like the relationship zone. And it's really important not to have stagnant energy in certain zones that you perhaps feel like you want to start achieving in your life. So I don't know what zone the living room is or this part of it. I need to find out, but I'm going to give these
It's the
away.
creation station, isn't it? Look, there's a creator over there.
Yeah. So I'm going to do something with those. Because when you become aware of those things and you believe it, like somebody will get these from the charity shop and like, I don't know, it's up to them, and if they like it, if they don't, like it's up to them. But when you like learn about things, like I just want to like do it properly. But also, you humming, Koa? You happy? Also, another thing is, especially in your bathrooms, always put your toilet seat down because energy flows out and in and out of your home through different means. If you always leave the toilet lids up, one, it's just doesn't look that nice and can be a bit gross. But secondly, energy can flow out, and especially if it's a wealth zone, you can just be like, it's not good for like bringing money in and things like that. Could you please stop doing that? They love this cupboard. Sometimes they're just here going.
They're making music.
I know, right? So you guys are still sewing.
Yeah, my bag broke. Look,
Oh,
the zip-
no, really?
So I'm gonna try and sew
That was
it
your
back
Christmas
up.
present, wasn't it?
Yeah, but I think it's gonna be pretty easy to sew. It's just like that bit, like where it holds it in place. But yeah, I'm
So we've got one person being creative with sewing, another person
Yes.
being creative by making the bangers. Hey. Well then.
You ready?
Go, Tommy.
Hey. So good.
Amia's drawing, aren't you?
Start doing headbanging, Carmen. I'm behind the camera, just head nodding.
Project you and Sienna are working on.
Yes.
I'll show you behind the scenes if you
What,
want.
next book?
Maybe.
Hey.
I love it somewhat a banger. Yeah.
Remix.
This is all the drawings I'm working on at the moment. So
Nice.
some of this stuff is like for something.
Nice.
The wheels on the Lambo go round and round. Tradition.
Yeah, that's the remix, Kara. The wheels on the Lambo go round and round.
This is going to be really funny.
Yeah?
This one. Look at that funny mouth.
You need to learn how to play it, don't you?
Let's do your hang low. Do your ears hang low. Do you know that song?
Yeah.
I'm going to get creative in the kitchen. I'm not going to be making dinner. I just really wanted to show you my sideboard. I'm so proud of that.
It's do your balls hang low.
They wouldn't play that on a little kid's piano, so that's obviously not how it works.
What?
Okay, where's your balls hang low?
That's the original.
But I'm going to use the pressure cooker today. Normally at the weekends I do like using the hob. I've got a bit more time. But we've been working out and I just don't feel that inspired today to
Oh, I
make...
thought you were making lasagna.
Sorry, I just don't feel that
Oh, we've got to lay the pressure on, Sienna. Come on, let's lay the pressure on.
Please.
Come on.
It's the weekends.
We don't have any cashews.
It's our one
but
chance to have something different. We
I
have
mean,
the
we
same
did
thing
we
every-
did have pizza and
every
chips
day.
yesterday.
I made, yeah, we're pizza night. We made all the pizza and everything. I'm going to make a lovely curry, okay? It's going to be just
Oh, that sounds good.
fake
She is making a curry.
fake. She started to. She calls it fake curry if I make it in the instant pot. But the instant pot is so quick and easy and nutritious and. Right, sounds like we're in a church now.
Unless you're volunteering to make dinner, Sienna.
I mean, I could probably make something better.
Oh, she's a teenager now, isn't she?
I do let her off. Sometimes
That's
if it's
so
like
funny.
that time of my month and she's like that. Me and her are like balls, like, you know, with our heads against each other, like kind of fighting, you know what I mean? Like battling with our words. But I sometimes when I'm not like, when she doesn't like lure me into it, I just find it funny. Like I just have to laugh it off because I was exactly the same when I was a teenager. I found my mum so immensely annoying and I just thought, why is my mum trying to ruin my life? I don't feel like Sienna feels that way, but like she does sometimes act like mum, what do you know? You know,
Yeah.
but that's normal.
Mia went through that stage as well, though. It's part of growing up, isn't it? Yeah, exactly. I mean, Mia went through the stage and then never came out of it and just, like, basically... I think you just realise that you do know more than mum about a lot of things.
No, the funny thing is though, Carmen's in it now and she's only 6. So like, I sometimes think in my head, okay, it could go two ways. It could like increase in intensity when she is a teenager. Please, I hope it doesn't. Or she's just going through this stage a bit prematurely. I don't know if that's normal for some girls at her age to sort of go through a sassy stage. I don't know, but we'll see. But I've noticed that Koa.
Probably learning from Sienna.
Yeah.
I'm not as bad as her though. She's the worst.
Yeah, so guys, I'm trying to make a quick, nourishing, but also really delicious dinner, and that is why we have the Instant Pot. So it's so good for during the week, and also at the weekends. If you want to go out at the weekend and have fun, but you still want to have a home-cooked meal, at the weekends, if you want to be out and about and then come home, not all weekends do you want to be in cooking. Some days I love it. Absolutely love it at the weekends. I love to get creative in the kitchen, but sometimes it's not that practical. And I feel like when the summer kicks in here, we're going to be at the beach all day and then come home. So I've put some millet in here. We don't have any rice, so we've got millet, which is a pseudo grain. I put extra liquid in with millet because it's very thirsty and it goes really creamy, like mash. And then for the curry, I'm going to make tofu aubergine. These needed using up. Lemongrass, garlic, and some courgette. I might add in some other things. Also curry powder, of course. We've got this organic one off Amazon, and it's actually Cambodian mix. So it's got like a different ratio to like say Indian curry powders. It's a bit fragrant and perfumey. When I first used it, you didn't like it that much, Darren, did you? You said it was too intense. But the first ingredient is turmeric, then it's ginger, cloves, nutmeg, black pepper, white pepper, cinnamon, and star anise. So it hasn't got things in like cumin and things like that. So it is quite different, but I really, really like it, and it's really like medicinal. So I'll show you once I've put everything in there. But it's so good because I use the mini one as a rice cooker. There's a rice setting, so grains, and you press rice and it automatically goes on 12 because I think they've set at that as standard, but you can adjust it depending on the grain, but 12 always works really well. So take keep warm off and press start, because once it's finished cooking, I don't like it on the keep warm setting because it kind of heats it still, and it like
doesn't lose the pressure either, does it?
No, we don't really use that, but if you wanted to, there's all these different settings that I don't even use and take
I think you
advantage
can
of.
even do stuff like you could put it on before work and then come home and like it's cooked.
Well, there is actually on here a slow cook setting.
Yeah.
So you've got the pressure cook, got slow cook, and there's even cake. Never
Basically,
done
yeah,
it.
we don't use any of the settings.
No, but it's really good. It's sous vide. Sous vide. How do you say that? It's the French word.
No idea.
Sous vide, saute. You basically, if you
Sterilise?
yeah, that's
Is that
what,
to clean it?
when you heat up stuff. I think when you're some people sterilise things when they're doing canned. produce. You heat
like
up,
a
get rid-
jar, yeah,
So
yeah,
not the jar, but the actual ingredients.
Yeah.
It's a bit like pasteurising,
yeah.
where you heat it up and really. So then when they put it in the jar, there's no bacteria, but then you kill all the nutrients off.
Right,
It's
yeah.
kind of like the opposite of making like sauerkraut, where you actually
Yeah.
put it in the jar and let it have bacteria in it.
Yeah, okay.
But yeah, if you haven't, what is really good about this, if you went somewhere and you don't have like an oven or a hob, you could just take this with you, like what we did in the hotel, like or like in a camper van or somewhere. It actually could be really
You'd
helpful.
have to be on an electrical hookup in a camper
Yeah.
van because it obviously uses a lot of electric, doesn't it?
But it's really, we love these so much. We've had these for like a decade.
Yeah.
And what's really, really important about these, what we love, is that it's a stainless steel.
The reason we got them
hot
originally
stainless
as well
steel.
is because we didn't used to be able to afford to buy cooked beans.
Yeah.
So like the beans, what Georgie will get out now, will be in a jar and they're already cooked.
Yeah.
But we used to bulk buy dry beans,
Yeah.
and cooking them in a saucepan. These ones, they just still were always so hard.
They take hours.
It didn't feel like you could digest them properly.
No.
So then we got one of these instant pots, and then finally they actually came out really soft.
Yeah. So that we originally, I remember now, we originally bought it to be able to cook hard legumes, but then it ended up I started using it for all of our meals.
Yeah.
It's amazing. And then
So do we even need to buy these anymore then?
well, it's just for ease because you have to have the. I mean, I could get in a habit of doing it.
Can you cook all that with the other stuff, or would
No, you have
oh,
to
do
cook
it
these separately.
All right, fair enough. Yeah. So this is time saving. Still, what we're doing here.
Yeah. So, sorry, Sienna's made me feel bad about the dinner now. I'm not saying she should feel guilty for that, but I kind of feel like I've made some.
No, I did encourage Sienna to like guilt trip you about it. I didn't know Mum was making a curry. I thought she was just making our standard Monday to Thursday meals.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I've got one of those bags, but I've got actually one of the Longchamp. And when I bought it, I didn't realise it had a leather trim on it. So if any of you see that and you think I've got it, I didn't intentionally do it. Listed on the site where I bought it from, it didn't.
Woo, woo, woo,
No.
woo.
But because most of the bag is plastic, but I guess Longchamp is one of those luxury brands, and if they started putting faux leather on it, they'd think it would like devalue it. But I can't wait for these brands to start having like premium like cactus leather or something. But my point is,
yeah.
the bag is really expensive and it hasn't broken.
Yeah, you.
This is some of the things.
acres.
This is what sometimes
wet
frustrates
every
me.
day.
I take it for travelling, fill it up on the plane, everything.
Massive heavy water
But this
bottles.
is the thing. This was a cheap brand, like high street one, and it's made in a way where it's not like good quality, like the Longchamp. But this is what
Yeah.
frustrates me. I want to invest in really good quality items that last really well, hold their value. And if you were to give it to a charity shop, or you wanted to resell it on vintage, people would buy it. It's unlikely to end up in a landfill.
Whereas
unlike
that will,
these.
yeah,
But then
exactly.
I'm not saying buy leather. I'm not saying that, but I can't wait for there to be more higher quality products which aren't just PUV like faux leather, but they're actually made really well. Because like this is so. Any of you guys like are like me. Like
I mean,
please let me know.
depends how you
Like,
feel about it anyway. Like if you buy leather from a charity shop, you're not actually creating any excess demand for leather.
No, because I did buy
Just
Karma's
realistically,
leather shoes from a charity shop.
like if depending on what someone's objective is, if they're trying to be an eco warrior, then you know, like go buy leather from a charity shop.
Yeah, or on Vinted or somewhere actually.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a tricky one. That is one of those, you know, in life where there's like it's also like with the plastic clothing.
Yeah.
Right now, this is an all organic sport rubber. These aren't, and I'm still in the process. I do believe
Organic
this
what?
is
Cotton?
Organic cotton. This
Cotton,
one
yeah.
is, but it's more like loungewear, so I've got loads of sweat all underneath.
Yeah.
But I do really want to start buying higher quality items, which obviously aren't leather, but that aren't just going to break.
Yeah.
Which I do.
We had this discussion the other day anyway, didn't we? Basically,
And I wanna buy plastic
my
free
conclusion on it all is, yeah, there are some niche brands. They keep going out of stock all the time. Like I've found different ones. Ryker, R-Y-K-E-R, that's men's, in the US. There's also Bold Will, which is a Dutch brand, I believe. It used to be called Iron Roots, and they had to just rebrand because of a copyright issue, even though they've existed for a few years. Then there's Carrot Banana Peach in the UK.
Yes.
And they're some of the brands which are making plastic-free sportswear.
Yeah.
And there's pros and cons to all of it. One of the biggest cons to all of the brands is they're virtually constantly out of stock on everything.
They don't have
But then one of the other things is just, it is like you can't, depending on if you're going to sweat when you work out, you can't wear cotton because it's just like a tea towel. Like a kitchen tea towel where it absorbs it all and it just becomes soggy. So that's the thing. But personally, I don't really sweat at the gym. I probably will in the summer here. But otherwise, I don't like warm up on a running machine or anything like that. I just use the machines. So I barely like break a sweat. I'm not like I'm dripping in sweat. So I can get away with cotton things. So I have got Carrot Banana Peach and Boody actually is another brand. I think they might be English as well. Boody.
An organic basis
And
is what I'm
those
wearing.
those are organic cotton, and then the Carrot Banana Peach stuff is bamboo, and that works for me.
So
But I was saying to
that's
Georgie,
good,
what I
electric
think the
bag.
solution will be, quite obviously, is when Lululemon actually brings out
Or aloe.
a range which is using natural materials. But obviously Lululemon is going to create some custom blend where they can get a patent on it, and I don't know if they could get a patent on natural materials. So there's a lot of brands where they're just waiting until they can manage to like actually have an exclusive license on it, aren't they?
Yeah,
where
because
they
they also
own
need
it.
money to be able to do
Because I guess they can't
that.
compete otherwise. They can't say, oh, it's organic cotton, because otherwise they're probably just going to be competing on price that way, because somebody else will just make you know, something else the same and sell it cheaper, won't they? I know obviously there's still a status to like any brand, but I think that's why they have the trademarked like materials, isn't it?
Well, a lot of people
But
wear
once they
leather
actually
and
bring
together,
something out,
aren't
but
they?
it's just about like consumer trends. When people see there's demand, or when companies see there's demand for something, then they'll actually make it. And obviously you want it to go mainstream. And niche brands, tiny brands, aren't in a position to make things go mainstream because they just haven't figured out scaling up and managing to make like tens or hundreds of thousands of different products, have they?
But yeah, I do feel optimistic about it all, and if any of you guys
Yeah,
discover
absolutely.
new brands that actually work, like look nice on your body, are flattering, things like that, let me know. By the way, Stella McCartney is really good for bags. They're expensive, but they make luxury designer handbags. But let me know if you know of any brands like the luxury brands that aren't vegan, and they bring out, I've said this before, but if you know that they've brought out a range which is vegan, please let me know, because I don't always keep in the loop of it, because I don't like, I guess you just, because I also don't get magazines here anymore, and sometimes magazines will let you know things like that, so that'd be really cool. And let me know of any sportswear brands that you love that actually kind of like look good and things like that. I'd just love to keep me up to date, Fizz fam, if you can. As well.
think
I'll also
maybe-
keep you up to date as well. That's why I love doing the unboxing of the organic basics that we have, and I'll share if I discover anything. I'll let you guys know as well if you're into it.
I think maybe like those high-end brands also, because a lot of their things do revolve around leather. If they do bring out a vegan product, they don't really make a big deal out of it. They're not like, yeah, look, we've got a vegan bag, because otherwise it draws attention to that all their other stuff isn't.
Yeah.
So I think when they do make things where the trim on it is not leather, they don't make a big deal out of it. So it's kind of like you have to do the research to actually find it out. You know, when we went shopping for a backpack for me and we were having to look it all up on websites, just to actually see what it says. They're not going to have a label on it saying, you know, let's celebrate this is vegan, because unless they'd changed their whole range to be vegan, like the whole brand, then they would actually start talking about it, wouldn't they?
Yeah, but I love linen clothing. That's really nice. I love good quality linen. I go to Massimo Dutti in the summer. They'll have really good linen, like trousers and skirts. I love that. And shirts for like men. I love.
You know that argument about like, I don't know, whatever. Like this brand also like makes meat or whatever, sells meat. Why would you buy from it?
Guys,
I just find that topic really fascinating, just because when you just buy from a supermarket, obviously the supermarket sells meat, sells cheese, sells eggs, whatever. So if you buy anything from a supermarket, it's still the same difference, isn't it? I don't get what the difference is.
It just depends on people's values, I guess. Yeah. Like what? Because to me, I don't have an issue with that. If like, say for instance, there's like an organic butcher's up the road, and they started doing like a vegan range in there. Obviously, we don't like. We
don't want fake meat.
I don't know. I think
if they started selling tofu, we would still buy
like
tofu
nut
from
cheeses,
them.
or it's like a dairy place, and they start selling. I would probably go and do it because I'd want to support their new business venture, and then hopefully like the range would get more popular, and then they might even like transition. Yeah. But I don't have an issue with that.
It is one thing to support tiny little brands. It is one thing. It's great. It's better that you're making like an individual some wealth rather than like this massive corporation, for definite. But the only way anything can ever have any chance of like becoming mainstream is by the mainstream established places having those things. Yeah. Anyway, isn't it?
Also, another thing we've learned, kind of on the same topic but not, is when anybody starts a business, their end goal is to sell the business. Yeah. With most business owners, that is actually the action plan. It's not creating a business; it's selling it. Yeah. And like if we created a business and then we wanted to hand that baby over to someone else, like a bigger corporation buys it, don't they? Yeah. Which some people. I mean, you can try and keep the business to the family name, but it even happened to the Cartiers. They couldn't keep it going.
It happens to every business.
Yeah. And then you just start another one. I mean, Darren had this talk, like, but when you sell it and then it goes to a bigger company, then you don't know if all of, like, because I said, put in the contract of that, when you sell it, can you, like, say it has to stay, like, ethical?
This is what I was saying. This is quite technical, but I was wondering whether actually it could be put on the blockchain and then the terms of the business can never be changed to go against its original mission. You know, like when Google started out and they were like, don't be evil, and then obviously they started making like radio controlled drones to go to war and stuff, and then they took out that tagline of their business because obviously they became evil. So like you want it in the actual like rules of the business that it can never change.
The world is so
it's complicated though. It would be very complicated to do.
So complicated.
Yeah.
Like, and I feel like we're all just navigating it in the best way that we can, and like, in no way, like, it's very, very difficult to be like, to do everything perfectly. Yeah. Isn't it? And like, you just have to do what you want to do. What's best.
It's impossible.
Yeah.
Literally impossible.
But the whole point of being alive is learning and growing and facing challenges.
Can you open up one, please? Someone.
Yeah. I think basically making hold in front of you guys.
And I'm just waffling on about loads of absolute nonsense.
But another thing about it is, another way to view it in a positive way, when people create amazing companies and they sell it on, once they've sold it, 9 times out of 10 they then go and create another really massive, amazing company that changes the world. Yeah. So, but yeah.
The buzz is in the building phase. That's the whole reason, like, why people end up selling companies, is because once they get it to that position where it kind of can more or less run on autopilot, it's not exciting then. So depending on what the business is, it's usually 3 to 8 years when they sell it. Yeah. If it's like a tech company or something, then it could be sold quite quickly. If it's a physical product company, then it usually takes a bit longer.
I'm gonna, at the weekends, treat us when I add in 2 cans. So I'm doing 2 cans of coconut milk.
Is that okay, Sienz?
The reason normally one can during the week is enough, but at the weekend I add in 2 cans.
Yeah.
Because it then makes it like feel like a really, really, really fatty, indulgent takeaway.
Okay. Yeah. A takeaway, exactly.
Yeah, like because that's what takeaways basically. That I know that sometimes they add chemicals in like MSG. But just say for instance,
Always, I think.
no, a lot of them now aren't doing it because
sometimes.
people have headaches. So I guess maybe if the local place got loads of people stopped going there, because some Chinese places don't add MSG anymore. But just say for instance, forget about that one added in. But most like Indian restaurants, for example, they just add in loads of oil and loads of salt, and that's what makes it taste so like amazing to us.
Probably and sugar.
And sugar as well.
Yeah.
And that's what makes it taste really, really good and makes your brain go crazy.
Temporarily, and then you feel really rubbish later on.
But you can hack it. Add in the right fat, coconut oil or coconut cream, that's for fat. And add in sea salt, Celtic sea salt into it. And if you want to add some sugar into it, because I do that into our chilies, you can add in coconut sugar, maple syrup. I wouldn't probably advise to go like heavy like that every day with all of your meals, but for the weekends, if you want to replicate a takeaway, add in the salt, sugar and fat, but just switch it for better versions.
Absolutely, yeah. God, it smells really nice already.
So now it looks quite thick, like there's not enough liquid in it, but once it all heats up, this is actually more than enough.
You don't add boiling water in that?
No, with Instant Pot cooking, you learn from trial and error, and that's all the fun about it. So I've learned from trial and error, don't add in any water into this or anything to liquefy it, to add more liquid, because it will all of the juices from the vegetables and the tofu will come out, and it will become liquidy. And also the coconut cream and milk, it heats up and then it becomes more liquidy.
Yeah.
So I think that is done. I mean, I think that looks good. Do you think I need a whole block? I think that's more than enough for us, isn't it?
No idea.
I don't know. I don't know why, but
I rarely ever see it when it goes in, so I don't know.
And then I'm going to do this in the pressure cook setting. Pressure cooking is actually a more gentler way to cook. I know it kind of sounds like it isn't, but it actually cooks food in a way better, in like a slower way.
3 minutes start.
Right, so it's going to cook for 3 minutes, but you have to wait. There is a bit of time added on to that for it to heat up.
About 10, isn't there?
About 10, depending sometimes. So this is now already started. Now it's got 9 minutes left. This will probably take 10. But what about pressure cooking? I did look it up. So I was a bit concerned. Pressure cooking, it sounds like it's heated up really high and like pressure. Oh, is that good for the food? But actually it's really, really good for the food. Loads of the nutrients are kept in. And compared to boiling and roasting and frying, it preserves more of the nutrients. Plus also it is a slower way to cook. Because a lot of food now is cooked really, really fast. And energetically that can add in like the stress or like the speed of it being cooked. Like if someone prepares your food in a stressed out way, you like consume that energy. But then also, if you don't believe in energy and things like that, fair enough if that sounds too woo-woo. But actually, if food is cooked in a fast way, like in a microwave or really like stir-fried and things, that actually isn't that good for food. Food in the olden days used to be prepared and cooked really, really slowly, and that is just way better for the food, the nutrients, and it is just better for you. So I looked up pressure cooking, and that is actually classed as like a more gentler way and a slower way to cook food.
But yeah, it's still quick.
But even though it's still quick, that's why I love them.
Yeah.
I just thought, wow, this is like
maybe not
amazing.
as quick as a microwave, but
no.
Like realistically, if it takes 10 minutes, that's incredible.
The way we like...
Because actually with a microwave, the more volume you're trying to heat up, the longer it takes. It probably would take 10 minutes to heat up like a big... Well, maybe not quite. I don't know. Maybe like 7 minutes or something for that big volume. I mean, it's literally been like 15 years since I used one, but it would take a long time.
Yeah,
regardless, wouldn't it?
Yeah,
it's not going to be like 2 minutes in the microwave to do all that volume, is it?
No, so... I'm really pleased. Yeah, I just showed you the dinner. That's quick and easy. I was talking to you, so I probably could have done it in half the amount of time. But it's just like so simple to make. Oh my goodness!
It's date box time again. Hey, don't steal the dates. We need them.
Wow, why is it big one this time?
Yeah,
Wow.
so this time the dates are properly ripe. The first time I made date bark, it came out so good.
And then the second 2 times I made it, it did come out good, but not as good. And I realised it's because the dates weren't properly ripe, so they didn't like mush together and create like a nice solid base. I wish I'd shown you when it was like a base, because now it's like, obviously I've covered it up with a nut butter.
Yeah, we're going to have a look at that in a minute.
Yeah, I'm doing a mix of tahini and hazelnut butter just because this is what we had in the cupboard.
We love dates, don't we?
Yeah.
Well, I would go on a date with a date. Don't tell Dad, but...
Okay, enough of the cheesy jokes, Mum. Careful, Chloe. You're bashing into me, and I've got an important job I'm doing right now. Today's dessert.
Okay, we need to get some neem oil.
See that massive bowl?
Yeah, can you get... They're eating our food.
I'm going to whip that bit off because it's kind of thick, right?
Yeah.
Why do you need dried bananas for it?
I was thinking maybe we could have some of the dried bananas. I was going to ask you because they were yours, weren't
Aren't
they?
you making like a bounty style one?
Yeah, I'm just kind of going to have a bit
Those
of fun
are
with it
mine.
today.
They're mine.
Here is the finished dinner. The curry. I've got sauerkraut with mine and millet. So we've got the millet. We've got the curry.
Karma, stop
It's
making
in its
this
place.
noise.
And you got these from the garden, didn't you?
Yes, there was a very interesting looking caterpillar though, so I had to get Dad to like
Remove
chop the
it.
stalk off that it was on and then take it over to
Yeah.
like the grass.
Super excited, and oh look, progress. Looks good, Mia. Why is there like some random date there?
Oh, that one was just a bit weird.
Ah, a
So I
bit
just
weird.
decided
Bit
not to
weird.
use it.
How?
Just like a bit, if you look at it, it kind of looks a bit weird.
Yeah, it's so weird.
No, the inside of it.
Ah,
Why? As in like
It looked like it just was a, like, I don't know. I just don't want to eat it.
yeah. Just,
oh yeah, look, it looks like it's gone off.
Yeah.
well, this looks so good, Mia.
Oh yeah. What was I gonna say? I'm excited for this.
Yeah, do you want to take up yours? Do you want any sauerkraut, Karma? The kimchi? This did look good, doesn't it?
Oh, it's on here.
You right, girl?
Yeah.
Do you want some kimchi on yours? You're hungry for kimchi?
Yeah.